So I'm here today at Tranquil PC to specify my design for a bespoke appliance. I've got a specific set of needs and I'm going to see if Tranquil can make that. And then what we're going to do, we're going to take a look at some of the design process and some of the manufacturing process as everything is built here at Tranquil. So David, I've got my requirements, so I want you to now take me through the process of how do you find out what I need and how we're going to do it.
Alright, so you've asked me to create or see whether we can create a product for you, mainly for media streaming. We would refer to that as a media streaming device.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you just a couple of quick questions about specifics, so that we can make sure that we get this right first time for you.
Yeah.
So as you know, what we're going to try to ultimately create is an appliance that satisfies all your needs.
Yeah.
And we'll try to build in our experience of thermal design engineering and chassis design and electronic design. Do you expect this to be subject to any vibration at all, or is that?
No, I don't think it's going to express a vibration.
Right. But if we did go down with an MSAT or a solid state, obviously you then get the benefit of a vibration resistant device. Okay.
So you could tailor this then to if I was in an area where there'd be a lot of knocking and
a vehicle.
A vehicle. Yeah, you could tailor it to that.
Boat.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So for now, vibration is not an issue, but you need small size.
Yeah.
So either a compact flash storage or possibly an MSATA. MSATA will certainly give you the performance and the reason. So we needed a reasonable CPU. So an Atom at this time probably won't deliver that for you on its own. It might do next year, but just for now, I'd probably recommend a Intel i3 processor. I don't think you need an i5 or an i7. So the i3 determines now that we need about 35 watts of power dissipation. Just in the back of my mind, I'm thinking fins. Okay, just 35 watts equals fins.
So the processor affects the heat and the design.
Yeah, the generation of the heat from the processor and the south bridge actually as well. So we need to get rid of that heat into the case. Mounting behind the screen on a desk.
On a desk.
On a desk. Okay, right.
But again, if I decided that it was going to be sort of mounted in, I don't know, behind a TV, so is that something you could?
Yeah. Okay. So this one will just be, when we finally design it, will be a simple desk-mounted device, a desktop PC if you like, or a desktop box. You can, if you wanted to mount to a Visa bracket or behind a screen or on a wall, we could then either put them through mount points, so effectively screws going all the way through the case, or if you wanted a larger bracket, maybe for a larger Visa screen or whatever, we could then actually, the plate that goes on the back of the case, rather than just being a cover, is actually the bracket.
Right, yeah.
So we engineer the solution for what you need.
Yeah, because that's one of the key things is the box has to be reliable. I don't want to be out going rebooting and servicing this thing or so I need that sort of trusted reliability on it.
Okay, so these products, as you know, will not have any fans in them. They will be thermally designed to accommodate the cooling of those parts without fans. And they are technically sealed. They're not complete, they're not IP rated, they're not waterproof. Sure, we don't want them to be waterproof.
No, hopefully I'll have no water.
Okay. So they won't be waterproof, but to all intents and purposes they are sealed, so no dust or debris is getting them. So if these were going, if your environment was a workshop or industrial application, there's no vents on the top of these cases, there's no holes anywhere, except on the back where the PC connectivity is. So I think I've got enough colour. Did you have a preference? Final? Black, silver?
Black, maybe.
Black, okay. Okay, if I can just run through what we've roughly outlined, and then perhaps I can move you on to meet our design team that will actually, hopefully, create this product for you. So you're looking for a small footprint chassis that's going on a desk. The environment is going to be office/home, so we'll assume that is between 0 and 30 degrees C. You're looking for a device with a reasonably powerful processor, so we've recommended an i3 Intel second generation core processor. And on your I/O side, you're looking for HDMI. You don't need special audio. You don't need anything else special on the I/O. You don't need any special PCI cards or anything else with special audio, special video. You're looking for a device with fairly small internal local storage, so we would recommend an MSATA drive for this. You don't want any special security in the BIOS or any BIOS ID strings. No ID string.
But you could offer, if I was putting maybe in a retail environment and it was getting reset, I could offer some logo.
Yeah, what we often do in the BIOS is when you turn the machine on, it will display your logo when it's turning on. until it drops into the operating system. But more importantly, many people will actually ask for a manufacturer's ID string. So we actually burn into the BIOS what's known as a BIOS ID string, and then your software will check against that BIOS ID string before it executes. So if someone tries to take your hard drive out, copy it and run it on another box, it won't work. But you want it black, and on the front of the box you simply want a simple power switch and a simple power indicator. You don't want any hard drive activity or anything of that nature.
Keep it clean.
Alright Ian, well I think that's all we need to know right now. Thanks very much indeed for your time. I'd like to move off, I'll just hand that over to Philip now. We'll just have a quick chat with Philip now if you don't mind.
Okay.
Perhaps I'll just call him in.
Okay Philip, we've got, as you know, Ian with us today, and I've run through what he's looking for. I'd like to introduce you to him in a second, but I'll hand over this design spec to you in a moment. So what he's looking for is a device with a small form factor, so we can try to keep the device small on the desk. He hasn't asked for it to be a specialist requirement. He wants it finishing in black, and he doesn't want any special features on it. Perhaps just a nice power switch on the front with a power indicator. We will need to do his software licensing for him as well. So if I introduce you to Ian in a moment and just give you this requirement, perhaps you can run through that with him a bit later on, and I'll probably see you a bit later in the day when we've created the device.